Hey everybody, how is everyone doing today? Let me know in the comments. We'll start with that. Let me know how you're doing today. So I'm just getting ready to be done for the week, but we'll have an AMA with AJ from EMP, and hopefully he'll be here soon. He told me he would be here, but I'm going to just kind of talk about EMP a little bit while we're waiting for him. Let me pull up my screen, get everything ready. You'd think I'd be better at this by now with how many AMAs I do. You'd think I'd be all ready to go as it is. So EMP has an exciting new thing that they're doing, and I would love AJ to talk about it because he is going to know better. Hello to Funny Turo. Hey, David. Hey, Pocket. Hey, Steve. Really enjoyed your video the other day with JP at Pocket Aces. Subscribe to your YouTube. Yeah, if you haven't already, go subscribe to Pocket Aces YouTube. Cryptado. That's a nice name. I like that. But he says doing AMA zing. So that's awesome. Let me shoot AJ a messages real quick. Just make sure that he's on his way. Yes, because I can definitely talk about it, but AJ is just such a better presence to talk about it. You guys hear me talk all the time. AJ would be much better at this. I'll message him. And then if you guys have questions that you want to talk about, we could talk about the EMP ecosystem in general. We can talk about my thoughts. Question for AJ: what's causing the peg to go down still? Yeah, that's a great question. And my opinion is, once people kind of lose thought that the peg, I think what EMP is trying to do, and again, AJ can correct me when he gets on, but they're trying to not think about the peg so much because there's ways to make money in EMP without the peg. Because I think we're kind of to the point in this bear market where people just expect the peg to not be on peg. Okay, because we've been below for long enough that when it gets above peg, like EMP has a pretty sizable treasury, they could just put all their treasury into buying up EMP and they would be back above peg, I imagine, pretty easily. But what would happen is they get above peg and then everybody would sell their EMP because they're used to being below peg. So if you see it get above peg, you run into some problems. So I think the plan is let's not pay as much attention to peg. Like that's not the only way to make money in this ecosystem. For example, I've been in the detonator for a long time, and you have your EMP Ethereum liquidity pool tokens in there. And I've been claiming out, it's 33 bucks a day, and you have to compound more than you claim if you want that to keep going up. But then I put it into the farm, into this EMP Ethereum liquidity pool here. So I'm up to about 9K. This is with EMP and Ethereum being pretty low. But I have 9K in there, but it's making about 50 or 60 bucks a day in eShare. And eShare is totally fine to sell. So I sell my eShare quite a bit. It's been a long time since I've sold any EMP tokens, just because again, I want to do what I can for the ecosystem. They always talk about YouTubers dumping on their audience and things like that, and I definitely don't want to do that. So I just make it as a general rule for me. I'm not going to sell EMP. I will sell eShare, but I'm still making, a good 50, 60, 70 bucks a day just from this ecosystem pumping into eShare. But I am excited to hear what AJ has to say about it. Let me see if he responded. Okay. 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UTC. Okay, so he should be here. He'll be here. AJ always shows up. He likes to be fashionably late. When was the last time that it was over peg to print? So I think that's a great question. When was the last time? So they were over peg, and it wasn't in November. You can see they were getting kind of close when they did that NFT launch for the eShare thing. They were getting pretty close to peg. I think they might have also put some treasury towards it, but then what happened is, EMP's worth a lot, and then the people that don't believe in it just sell. Okay, so it really doesn't do a lot of good for them to manually get back to peg, because then the people who don't believe in it are going to just sell. So it's better to let them kind of shake out the paper hands, if you will. I don't like that. I never blame people for selling anything. Okay, it just, you never know what's going on in someone's life. Like they have things, like somebody was mad at me for selling my drip the other day, and it was like, okay, I had bills. I'm paying for someone's school, and they needed tuition. Okay, so what did you want me to do? So there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, AJ?
Good, James. Oh my God, brother. I am so sorry. A little bit late. I just got off another AMA with Jonathan Seller. So that ran about 2 minutes late. And again, I appreciate your patience, brother.
Oh
Yeah.
man, no worries.
Yeah.
We're running you through the ringer with how many AMAs that you have to do all the time. So I
For sure,
appreciate you
brother.
coming on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you. Again, I consider you a real life friend, and I love everything that you cover, Jonathan, through everything, James. You've been amazing, brother. So, yeah, and shout out to your community. I know a lot of your community is super involved in EMP, and always a pleasure, James. Hell yeah, brother. So,
Yeah,
all
man.
right, yeah, you want to jump right in? I don't know, maybe if you were already taking some questions, but I know we have a lot of alpha to drop today. So yeah,
Yes, we do. I got my banner already. This alpha at the bottom of the screen, so
I
people
love it.
know
Oh
that
man,
that's
look at
coming.
you. Yeah, you're upping your production value every day, right?
I try,
Yeah,
little steps, day by day, and then
for sure.
eventually we make it good.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's start with, so people keep asking questions, and I'll star them, and we'll come back to them. But I would like, before I get to questions, I always like to talk about the main purpose, because sometimes we run
for
out of
sure.
time. And then so AJ, what's going on? What are we here mainly to talk about today?
Yeah, brother. So we have a very exciting announcement with a brand new NFT that we are dropping. Again, for those of you that may remember, we had some major success with our Sentinel Squadron NFTs. I think that was the last time we were on the channel with you, James, with our partnership with MDB and that as well. And we were able to raise about $1.5 million through that NFT. It was the largest independent mint on Binance Smart Chain or BNB chain. The only larger one was the Pancake Swap buddies. But if we're competing with Pancake Swap, we're in a really good spot. So that with the success of that, we said, man, what can we do to continue to utilize the power of these NFTs? And so we're really excited to announce our Power Up NFTs. And this is a brand new way to get exposure to our EMP ecosystem with like the most simple and hands-off approach possible. So I can kind of go into the overall idea, and then we can jump into how the yields are produced, and then we'll talk about the good part, how can we get one, right? So that this idea is targeted to Ethereum mainnet. So now, not only are we exposing ourselves to the Ethereum mainnet with a whole new slew of users and eyeballs, but now we're also trying to target the sub niche category of Ethereum mining. And so, James, I don't want to pour salt in the wound, but I know that you have definitely not seen the returns that you were hoping for with mining. Is that correct?
Correct. Both GPU and my ASIC miners have all not done well.
Totally. So there is a lot of overhead, a lot of upfront cost, um, a lot of logistics involved in mining, and we have what we feel is a much better solution. And so, excuse me. So with our NFT, you're essentially we're branding it as an Ethereum virtual miner, and obviously, now that Ethereum is proof of stake rather than proof of work, you can't even mine Ethereum anymore, and you can have a validator node, but a validator node is 32 Ethereum, and the APR on that is like 10%, something super low. So we wanted to offer a solution to those that may be really intrigued by the idea of mining, and they love the idea of making their capital work for them. And so this is just a much better solution overall. And so not only are we really excited for that subcategory, but really it's for everybody. And the number one complaint, and I put that in air quotes, that we've seen with EMP is that it can be so overwhelming to get involved. You have to know DeFi, and not only do you have to know DeFi, but it's cutting edge DeFi. So now you have to know how to make an LP pair. You have to know where to go in the farm. You have to interact with the contract every day. And so we wanted to have an easy button, so to speak, of how to get involved in our ecosystem in a very, very hands-off way. So with this, again, the Power Up NFTs, we're launching on Ethereum mainnet, and they are the equivalent of $1,000 each, which at today's prices is about zero point 0.8 Ethereum, and it's straight Ethereum in and Ethereum out. So you will mint an NFT on the Ethereum mainnet using again ETH. We will then, and all this is done through smart contracts. So we're not managing funds for anybody. We're non-custodial. You don't have to worry about any of that. With the debacle that we've seen with FTX. And they were utilizing your crypto and leverage trading and all those other crazy, risky things to produce yield. We produce the yield through our ecosystem. So you mint your NFT on Ethereum mainnet. We take all those funds through smart contract. We bridge them over to EMP on the Binance BNB network, and then we allocate those funds in the most efficient way possible through our ecosystem to produce yield, both in EMP ETH LP and eShare. And then we sell the eShare, we hold the Ethereum that is produced. We then, pile all that up, and then we bridge it back over to Ethereum mainnet where it's distributed to all the NFT holders. So we're really excited. It's about as hands off as you can get. And the APR, we've been really conservative on advertising APR, but we feel like we can definitely achieve, even at today's levels, between a 50% and 100% APR, which puts your ROI time at about 1 to 2 years. And I know that sounds like a long time for those that are used to the degenerate yields, but if you're a miner right now, you're looking at a 5 or 6 year ROI time on your rigs. So we're 5 times more efficient than that. So yeah, man, we're really excited, James. I know that was a lot to take in, but any questions so far?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, audience, feel free to keep asking questions as well. And it's good to see all of you guys. A lot of people, I love doing EMP AMAs because I get to see a lot of people that aren't normally on my AMAs, but they show up for the EMP one. So good to see all you guys.
I love it.
Appreciate this community quite a
Yes.
bit.
Yeah, we have the best community in crypto. I know all the projects say that, but we deliver on that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you make a really, really great point too. When you're talking about Ethereum, it's not like other coins, where you're talking about a year ROI or whatever the case might be. Ethereum is something where we don't hope that the price just stays where it's at forever, but we're hoping that that price, all-time high on Ethereum is what, 5K around there somewhere. And so we're well below that. So this is a good time to get into Ethereum, things that expose you to Ethereum, basically.
Yeah, no, 100%. And again, I can attest to this. Obviously, nothing James or I say is financial advice, but I've been able to amass a multi-million-dollar portfolio over the last, 5 or 6 years in crypto. And the way I've done that is by focusing on allowing my crypto to earn me more crypto. And so that's how the wealthiest people in the world accumulate their wealth is by having again their capital work for them and not just sit idle. So the whole concept and idea is you have this zero point 0.8 Ethereum in your wallet. I'm definitely a fan of just holding and hoping the price goes up, but there is other ways to maximize your return that are much better than day trading or leverage trading and all that. So the idea is you take that zero point 0.8 ETH, you then buy one of these NFTs, and now you have an asset. You have an income producing asset. So now, say you can ROI in up to a year or 2 years. So just say for easy math sake, you're able to ROI in a year, which means you earn zero point 0.8 Ethereum in that year. Now, you not only do you have the zero point 0.8 ETH, but you also still have the ability to sell your NFT which would give you another zero point 0.8 ETH. So now you've essentially doubled your Ethereum in a year, while still maintaining the exposure to ETH to have the price go up. And again, I mean, if we see ETH go up, two, three, $4,000 over the next year, then that will cut your ROI time, in half or a third or even a fourth. So again, it's super lucrative, getting in now where I think we're a lot closer to a bottom than a top, obviously. So yeah, does that make sense, James? I don't know if you want to elaborate. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Nope. I think that all makes a lot of sense. How does this compare to the Ethereum? You guys were doing like just single Ethereum staking for a while. Is this kind of similar to that, or how does this compare to that?
Yes, brother. I love that you brought that up. So, a few months ago, again, EMP's been around for 11 months, which is an eternity in DeFi. But and every day we paid, APR every single day. It may not be the sexiest APR, but it is the most sustainable. And we delivered on everything we've ever set out to do. And yeah, so we did have an Ethereum staking contract where you could put up your Ethereum. We then utilized it in our ecosystem, and we paid a 19% APR in 3 months with that contract. So, and again, that was over 700 Ethereum that we collected in that ETH staking pool, and we made good on all the promises we ever were saying. And so, yes, to answer your question, it is a very similar concept to that straight ETH staking. So we have already proven ourselves. I mean, that was a proof of concept that worked. So again, everything in crypto is risky, but we've done everything we can to mitigate as much risk as possible. And so these NFTs could be super, super powerful. And one more thing before I forget, the other major benefit of these NFTs is that the idea of having your stake, so to speak, in the protocol within an NFT means that you could buy and sell the NFT without ever hurting or impacting PEG. Because if you have LP in our ecosystem and you decide to sell the EMP, that hurts the PEG ratio. So this is also really bullish for PEG because now, you have the liquidity of getting in and out of the protocol without really hurting the PEG ratio. So does that make sense too, James? Again,
Yeah.
I'm trying not to go too complicated here, but yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I love that. Love that a lot. So and you brought up Peg, so I do want to talk about that a little bit here in a minute because a lot of people have questions about that.
for sure.
But so can you remind us when does this NFT going to be available and what are people going to need to do to buy it?
Yep, 100%. So we are on a bit of a tight schedule here. We wanted to roll all this out by the end of the year. So it will be going live on December 3rd at 8 a.m. And so, again, on Ethereum mainnet, we have the minting page up with a countdown clock right now. So we'll post all that in the description. Um, but yeah, and so what happens is the 48-hour window will open then, and we don't have a maximum on what we're being able to mint. So it's just based on time. So however many NFTs are purchased in that 48-hour window, that will be all that there is. And so we are reserving the opportunity to open up a future mint down the road in 3 6 months if the appetite is there, especially if we're in a bull run by then. I think a lot of people will want to get in, but as of right now, this is the only opportunity to get in and earn. And again, these are pure utility based NFTs, so it really doesn't negatively affect the participants based on the supply cap, if that makes sense. So the more money we raise, the better it is for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, very exciting. Yeah, and then the last, like you said, the last NFT collection went super well. So I mean, and that's a thing we could see too is the price of the NFTs going up, right? So you might make money
Yeah.
from Ethereum, you might make money from selling the NFTs.
Totally, and even now, I mean, our mint price on the Sentinel Squadron NFTs was about $300 US. And even now, a month later, the average sell price is about $325 dollars on those NFTs. So they definitely have been holding their value. We just did a sweep today, actually, where we went and bought back some of the NFTs that were for sale. And so we'll always be trying to support the price of those NFTs long term.
Gotcha. And then cost per NFT you said is $1,000, correct?
Yep, it is straight Ethereum in, Ethereum out. We did that to make the accounting a little more clean and again avoid any unnecessary fees. But it is the equivalent value of $1,000. So as of this moment is about zero point 0.8 Ethereum per.
Okay. And then do you plan on keeping that price the same, or are you going to kind of update it with the price of Ethereum over those 48 hours?
Yep, so we're using the Chainlink Oracle. So yeah, it will update in real time. So again, if we see a pump on Ethereum, then it may end up being a little bit less, or vice versa. So yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Good old Chainlink. They got all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah, brother. No, we have a great partnership with them through Detonator as well. So again, we're trying to do everything the right way. We've been fully transparent from day one. We're fully doxed. We're in the middle of a Paladin audit right now as well. So again, we built our platform on trust and sustainability.
Okay, awesome. I love that. So let's do talk about Peg because I know a lot of people have questions about that, and kind of we've talked a lot about this, me and you, in the past.
For sure.
But what I kind of said was that you guys have the treasury where you could just bump everything back up to Peg, but then what we're kind of seeing in the bear market, and just as people kind of get used to it being under Peg, is if you use funds to go back up to Peg, people kind of just sell, and it just kind of ends up about where it is right now. Do you want to talk about what you think about Peg, where it's at, where you think it's going to go, how it's going to fit
Absolutely.
in with the future?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. So again, I know, in seniorage protocols, which is what EMP is at the core, there is this emphasis on PEG. And obviously we want to maintain PEG, you know, moving forward. But because we're pegged to an appreciating asset like Ethereum and not a stable token, we have a lot less pressure to maintain that peg. And so the overall, gist of it is that we're still able to pay out APRs, even below peg. And to your point, James, we saw it perfectly play out with the Sentinel Squadron NFTs. With the hype that we generated, everybody came in. There was a huge pump, and we went from about where we are now to about 0.95 peg in a matter of like 4 days. So because of that huge spike, we had a lot of people taking profits in EMP, which again, we we don't recommend doing that. Again, not financial advice, but EMP is a utility token at the core. And so the idea is that you earn eShare by utilizing your EMP in the proper way, and that is what you take profit in. So again, to your point, we have a healthy treasury right now. We could spend 500,000 to $1 million on recovering pay, but if we don't have the means to maintain those levels with buying and burning EMP over the long run, then we're really shooting ourselves in the foot because now we go back down and the treasury is broke. So that would be a horrible situation, and we would never put ourselves in that. So yeah, over the long run, the idea is that we are putting together actual revenue streams, which we already have some. I mean, again, our YouTube channel is monetized. We sell Detonator as a service, which is a revenue stream. We have other treasury investments that are yielding for us, both with exposure to crypto mainly, and even some outside of crypto. Again. I know Goldbridge is one that you're a fan of. So yeah, I mean we're diversified in all this, and the idea is that over time we have enough revenue streams that we are able to outpace the selling of EMP by buying more than is being sold, and then now we maintain peg. Again, what we hope is indefinitely.
Yeah, no, I this is great. That was actually the next question is what are the revenue streams? So you are ahead of it. You're psychic and
I love it, man.
answer
Well,
questions before they come.
Yeah, well, and again, I mean, we do daily AMAs in our own community, and there's never a question, off the table. So we want to be as transparent and open, about all of this as we can. So absolutely.
Yeah, love that. And one thing I'll say, you guys have done a great job. So we are in bear market, right? Bad bear market, and I'm seeing projects just shutting down left and right. Like very few projects are doing okay right now. I'm actually working on my profit for the month of November, and I'm just amazed. Oh man, there's not a lot of projects that are left. And you
For
guys are
sure.
definitely, have been down, but still building and still, I'm still making quite a bit of money just from selling e-shares. And if you guys are able to hobble through kind of the bear market, man, it could be crazy what happens with EMP once we get back to a bull market.
Yes, brother, and that's an amazing point, James. Again, we've done everything we can to be sustainable, and with an 80 to 90% drawdown on the overall crypto market, the fact that we're able to pay any APR right now is an amazing testament to our economics. And again, it functions very differently than trading bots or your traditional ROI contracts. We're a very different economic model than all that, and it's proving to be very sustainable, even with the dumpster fire of the market that we've seen right now. And so, and to your point, we built the protocol not to rely on new users, meaning again, even if we maintained the levels we are now, the APRs would still pay. But the whole idea is if we can bring in new eyeballs and new capital, that will substantially increase, the values in the protocol. And so again, we're not reliant on new volume, but new volume definitely helps, and that is kind of the initiative that we've been really pushing to end out the year strong by bringing people into EMP, and really also about being down in peg. That is also an opportunity because eventually it's not if, it's when we recover peg. You're essentially doubling your position by us increasing back to peg. Right now we're at about zero point 0.5 peg. You're able to double your EMP position as we get back to peg. And because we have deep liquidity, I mean, we have over $6 million in EMP ETH LP and liquidity. That is really a true sign of the health of the protocol. Like again, I mean, liquidity is king when it comes to these sort of things. And yeah, I mean, we're again, there's just so many. Right now is the time to accumulate. Again, not financial advice, but millionaires are made in bear markets because now is the time to build your position, and then not only that, but then earn on your position for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Totally agree. Could you maybe give a little bit more insight into what the funds? So you put in Ethereum and Ethereum comes out, but can you explain a little bit more about what you're going to be doing with it? In the meantime, are you putting it in the detonator? Are you just putting it in the farm, or is it going to be mixed around, or how are you doing that?
Totally. So again, we're being a little bit vague, just to avoid any front running on things. But the overall gist is that the EMP owns a lot of EMP itself in our treasuries, and obviously we don't sell that EMP because that negatively impacts the protocol. So we want to be able to put that EMP to work, and so the idea is that we take the ETH, and this is why we're doing the raise in Ethereum. We take the ETH that we get, we then bridge it to the BNB chain, we pair it up with the EMP that we already own, and now we're able to essentially, utilize the ecosystem to produce yields at half price because we own the EMP already. We don't have to buy it. So that is really powerful. And again, I mean, we will be diversifying into the farms, into nodes, into the detonator to really utilize the protocol in the most powerful way possible.
Okay, love that. Yeah, and then I had some few people ask about the nodes.
For
I
sure.
think they were specifically wondering how the returns are generated. I assume that that's related to if the boardroom's printing, or how does the node like APR kind of work out?
Yeah, so I love this question as well because I think again, in hindsight, we probably shouldn't have called them nodes because everybody is so hesitant on nodes. But yes, our nodes operate very, very differently. So our nodes are non-inflationary. So what that means is that the EMP in the node pool right now is about $1.8 million worth. That is EMP that has already been put into circulation. So, similar to like the detonator or the reactor contract, this is a very, very simplified version of that. So, people, go in and they buy a node, and then that EMP goes into the pool, and then you get a certain percentage back every day. And so, well, that as on the surface is basically Ponzonomics. But what we do is we use a portion of the boardroom prints to then subsidize the pool. So when the boardroom prints new EMP, a portion of that goes into the node balance, which then again makes it not reliant on new volume to pay out all the users. So the nodes are really revolutionary in that way. And I know a lot of people have a bad habit of just going into nodes and then claiming their EMP and then just selling it. Well, that's really not the way to utilize nodes, and yeah, exactly, in the most best way possible. And really, not only does it hurt the protocol, but it hurts you as the investor as well. So the ideal strategy is to use the EMP from nodes to then pair up with your profits from eShare or to bring over new capital, uh, and then go back into the farm or detonator, and now you're essentially, yielding on free profits because again, you're earning that EMP, and that is EMP that you don't have to buy. So again, and even if you are one of those people that just sells EMP, you're hurting your own bag basically because the longer we stay below peg, the less these nodes pay out. So if you want the nodes to pay higher, then you want us to be at peg. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and that makes sense. And I've always been a little bit at a loss as to what to do with my EMP when it comes out of the nodes. But maybe this Ethereum miner, find that with the EMP. Is that
Yes.
a good strategy?
Yep. Sorry, you were cutting out there. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah. No,
All right.
sorry.
Sorry.
It's been my kids playing video games. I think it's been rough on
Yeah.
my internet.
Yeah, no
No.
worries, brother. So yeah, that James again, bro. That you're becoming a DeFi OG because you know the strategies even before we talk about them. So yes, if you have EMP in the nodes, now you buy this Ethereum Power Up NFT. Now that produces your actual Ethereum, and then yes, you could bridge on your own, ETH back to BNB chain. Then pair up your ETH with the node emissions or the EMP, and now you're essentially able to create your own LP again at a much discounted rate because you're earning those assets. So yeah, that would be an amazing play, and again, not only allow you to earn more, but also be super beneficial to the protocol because now we have essentially you know minimal sell pressure on EMP. And again, that's another misconception is that yes, if Ethereum goes up, that will automatically bring the price of EMP up with it. But the peg itself is determined based on buying and selling volume. So the more buying pressure on EMP, is what gets us back to peg.
Okay. Nope. That makes a lot of sense. Yes. Yeah. If anybody has any more questions, feel free to ask, or else I'll
For
just
sure.
keep asking mine. And we don't have to go for 5 hours either. So we can the main thing was the announcement. But I get this question quite a bit, and I know we've talked about it before, but for new people coming in to the protocol, I know we can't give it financial advice, but do you think this NFT launch is where they should start, or should they start in the detonator, or where do you kind of recommend people start?
Totally. So it really is going to be your investment, your investment. What's the right word? appetite, I guess, or your whatever. If you're more, used to risk or risk on, risk off, or really what the capital that you have to start. So maybe you can't afford, the $1,000 NFT. Then the number one way we always recommend to get involved is through our farm. So yeah, absolutely, you're ahead of the game, James. So yeah, you can zap right in to the farm if you don't know how to make LP. It will do it for you. If you do know how to make LP, you can do it on your own. And then literally, it's that easy. You make EMP ETH LP. So if you had $100, half of that would be EMP. So $50 of EMP, $50 of ETH. You then make the LP, and then you put it right in the farm. And so that is earning every day. Again, even with the suppressed prices, it's still what 0. Almost 0.17 daily, which again, we've paid out APR every single day. We've never locked funds. We don't have any buying and selling taxes. I mean, we've done everything we can to, develop the most sustainable protocol out there. And so, yeah, that would be my suggestion for anybody new. But again, if you don't want to be involved, you don't want to know how to, make LP, you don't want to take our academy, you just want to sit back and, earn with your crypto, then the NFTs are really, the most simple solution in the protocol. Period. So yeah, we have options for everybody, and again, that's another incredible part of EMP. We have like 10 different ways to earn in the protocol. With exposure to ETH and now BNB through detonate. I'm sorry, through Reactor. So again, our eShare token is backed by BNB. So even that has millions of dollars of liquidity backing it as well. So yeah.
Yep. No, I love that. And yet, what I've been doing recently, so I had quite a bit in the detonator because I won the prize one day. And so I've been
Perfect.
taking that EMP Ethereum and I've been throwing that into the farm. So I claim and compound to keep the amount I'm getting out of the detonator. But then when I get that extra LP, I just put it into this farm. And then so this farm position's been increasing quite a bit because of my detonator. And then
Yes,
that's what's
brother.
providing the e-share where still making quite a bit. So
Yeah, bro. No, exactly. We call that the infinite money loop. So yeah, you can take your rewards from detonator. And again, we're all here to make money. I think when people hear us say don't sell EMP, that they're confused by that. But really, you can earn more by putting that EMP to work for you. I mean, if you want to exit the protocol and give up your ownership, then absolutely, that's where you sell EMP. But in a market that we're in right now, this is literally based on all of our research. This is the number one yield generating platform with exposure to Ethereum. Again, because if Ethereum goes up, again, not if, but when Ethereum goes up, you again experience all that price appreciation as that happens as well. So absolutely, James, it's very powerful. And yeah, we also have some alpha coming in a few another week. We may be back on the channel to talk about detonator specifically. So yeah, man, I'm
yes.
excited. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Alpha all around. Yeah. And I just wanted to show people I don't know, this might be helpful for people. But this is my spreadsheet of what I have in EMP right now and kind of what's returning. I'm still making $70 a day, which is, during the bull market when we were above peg, I was making a lot of money per day,
yes, brother, and
but
that's the
still making,
power. Yeah,
yep. But
yeah. When
still,
we
even
yeah.
during these markets, still making some.
Totally. And again, I know a lot of people have not experienced, being at peg for a extended period of time. But those that have experienced that, there is massive gains to be made when the ecosystem, is functioning at full capacity. So
Oh,
yeah.
yes. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, well, let's get to some audience questions here. Um, okay, let's start with partnerships. Do you want to talk about what's new on the partnership side of things? I think that's one of your superpowers is partnering. So you want to talk
Yeah,
about that?
brother. No, I love that. So yeah, I mean, we are really, really involved in, helping to make crypto and DeFi, a better place. And so, we really love partnering with projects that share that same mentality. I think in crypto, there's this, tribalism that people get so passionate about their one project that we all can win together. It's good to diversify into other protocols as long as they're here for the right reasons. So we've had some killer partnerships with a lot of people that have been longtime friends of your channel as well. MDB is one of them. Again, through the Sentinel Squadron NFT that rewards both eShare and MDB. So it's a great way to get exposure to both protocols. Hydro Whales was another original partner. They made a lot of investment into our protocol early on and still hold their positions. So yeah, I mean, we're always looking for partners. Again, El Taco is another one that we've had. And yeah, even now we're working on some partnerships. I know we're in talks with the Warfi community. We're also in talks with OPT or Optimus, and as well as some other protocols on Avalanche. So yeah, we're definitely always focusing on partnerships, but with whatever partnership we bring, it has to be mutually beneficial as well. So we would never want to get into a partnership that could potentially hurt EMP or the partner. So we definitely do a lot of due diligence, before we make those partnerships real. So absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk about how the DAS partnerships that you have, how have those been going? Have those been working for the protocols well, or how has that been doing?
Absolutely, brother. So, excuse me, but detonator as a service, or DOS, as you said, the detonator is a closed source contract, and we did that on purpose because we saw the value in offering this to other protocols, and so the detonator is just an incredible way to offer incentives without inflating your token and really deepening your liquidity. So obviously, how could I forget well, two of our major partners? Again, Splinterlands, which is a play-to-earn game right there, SPSPMB on the Hive network. They've been killing it, and Cultivator, our growth DeFi uh, partner. And so, yes, what they do is they license the technology from us. So we get a licensing fee as well as a percentage of the volume in those contracts. Um, and so not only is that a revenue source for EMP, but it also drives a ton of volume to these partner protocols. So again, Generator has had over $1 million of LP deposited, and Cultivator is even a little bit more than that, I think. So closing in on 2 million. So again, we that's another amazing part of EMP. Our community, whatever partnership we end up announcing, our community goes heavy. So we're always happy to support those protocols.
Yeah, I'm always impressed with your naming too. You always have good names for the stuff that you come out with.
I love it. Yeah, so we recently brought on Bull Gates to our actual team, and he's an amazing community member, and he's the naming specialist. He's always coming up with good ideas. So yeah.
Okay, I love that. Love that. Um, I was trying to think what this question means, but maybe you know.
All right.
But
Yeah.
AJ, can you let the cat out of the bag with O? Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, me probably Optimus.
Oh,
I
okay.
would think Optimus.
Okay.
So yeah, our community is really excited for a possible partnership. Again, we're looking at a few different options, whether it's a detonator as a service, or maybe even something a little bit more in depth with them. But yeah, so again. We like the team. We just before we pull the trigger, we want to make sure we come up with something that really is, benefits both of us in the best way possible.
Awesome. And Nico would like to know, have you considered having a staking pool for EMP where you earn Ethereum? So that's kind of an interesting idea. And just one thing for people to think about too is if you're going to give out Ethereum with staking EMP, that EMP is going to have to be sold to get the Ethereum. So that would be my thoughts. But AJ, do you have thoughts about that?
Exactly, brother. So that would be the only way to generate that Ethereum, or we would have to allocate e-share emissions to that pool, which again, staking straight Ethereum, because I'm sorry, staking straight EMP, because we have such large liquidity already, it really doesn't do anything beneficial for the protocol. Obviously, it may take away some selling pressure on EMP by staking it, but it's funny that this person asked this. Maybe they have, some insider info. We are working on what we call the final form of EMP, where we're transitioning into even more sustainable models. Again, really controlling our inflation. And so, yeah, the ultimate goal is to have EMP yield more by holding it or staking it than selling it. So we're really excited for that. We had a 2 hour meeting yesterday with the team on hopefully rolling all of this out over the next few months. So yeah, man, we're always building. Any project that builds in the bear market, again, that's where I want my money for sure. So again, not financial advice. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, we have to keep saying that. I should get a ticker that says that, not financial advice. Uh,
perfect.
yeah, that'd be good. And final form, I like that. I think we've talked about this before, but it goes back to my Dragon Ball Z days with
Yes, man.
Frieza
Exactly.
final form.
Yep, definitely. Yep, Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon always evolving into
Yep.
something bigger and better. So no doubt. Yeah.
Awesome. Are the NFTs going to be sold on OpenSea? So these should be NFTs that you can sell places,
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely. So again, we will end up probably picking a partner marketplace. So whether that's OpenSea or NFT trade, that will be where the majority of the volume happens. But yeah, I mean any marketplace on Ethereum mainnet will support these NFTs. So just be careful. OpenSea recently announced they're supporting BNB NFTs. So with that though, we saw some scams. So just make sure that you're actually buying the right NFTs and they're not copies of the NFT. And all that info will be in our socials.
Yep, yep. Be cautious of scam NFTs. So, I mean, don't search. I would just find the link in the
Exactly.
announcements or Twitter, and click the link that EMP gives you rather than trying to search around. It's just there. A lot of people get scammed that way. So,
Yep, and even now, even on our, if you go real quick, James, to our Sentinel page on our website, that has a link to buy them right then and there. So, yep, buy now. So that'll take you to the official link with NFT. So again, as you can see, almost $200,000 of volume on the secondary market. So that's really powerful.
yep, yep, absolutely. And you're looking for these like verified collections. Is what you
Yep,
really want if you're buying an NFT. You get this blue check and make sure it's what they say that it actually is.
100%.
So, well, cool. Well, I think that is. Does anybody else have anything that we didn't talk about or that you want to talk about? I think that's all the questions in the comments and everything I have. AJ, any final things for us other than stay tuned for our AMA that's going to be in a week or so?
Yeah, no doubt. So we have some more info coming in a week on even another opportunity. Again, we're always trying to innovate at EMP, and I know it's getting towards the end of the year. Everybody's celebrating their holidays, but we really want to close this year strong. And whether you're in EMP already or you're looking to get involved, these Power Up NFTs can be really, 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 really powerful. And again, essentially, passive income in actual Ethereum. I mean, just think about that. You're earning the blue chip asset, completely hands off. So yeah, again, let's blow it up. Any of you watching, if you have I'm calling in all my favors. So let's get all these NFTs to everybody that could be interested in them. So, and James, I appreciate you, brother. You've been really supportive. And again, I value our relationship, brother. So thank you again for everything.
Yes, you are very welcome. Thanks for keep building through the space. Thank you for not rug pulling us. Thank you for not
Yes, brother. Yeah.
shutting everything down. We just seen everything happen. So I just appreciate that you're still out there building and I'm still getting return. So Hard to
Exactly. Yep.
complain.
Yeah, like I say, we may not be the prettiest girl on the dance floor, or the sexiest APRs, but we are paying every single day, and that is the beauty of our protocol, is that we're able to adjust those APRs depending on market conditions. So, we're not overexposing ourselves through massive ROI or APRs and then not being able to deliver on that. So yeah, yeah, brother,
There
we're
you
we're
go.
uh, we're gonna be around for a long time, 100%.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that illustration. You could have the pretty girl who runs out on you at the first sign of trouble, or you can have EMP where not the brightest light on the Christmas tree, but sticks with you through the thick and thin and is always with
Totally.
you. So
I
I
love
like
it,
that.
man. Yep, that's a great analogy. Perfect. So, all right,
Awesome.
brother. Thank you again.
Yep. Thank you guys. Everybody be ready December 3rd. So 2 days. You said 8 a.m. Is that UTC or is
Yep,
that
sorry. So, yeah, 8 a.m. Eastern. I
Eastern?
believe
Okay.
it's 8. I'm sorry, noon UTC. But again, we have a 48-hour window. So even if you can't make it right at the mint, again, there is no hard cap. But whatever, once that 48-hour window is over, it could be at least 3 or 6 months before we mint any new NFTs. So make sure you get in while you can and start earning immediately.
Okay, so Saturday morning, if minting, it's 48 hours. You don't have to be there right at launch because there's no limit. So you might as well, wake up at your normal time and just buy sometime during that day. But yeah, be ready. It's going to be $1,000 in Ethereum right now, about 0.38 or something like that. Or no, more than that,
Yeah,
point
point
eight
eight, point
seven.
eight.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yep,
was
no,
going to
you're right,
say,
point 8. Yep, you got it, yeah.
I'm back. I'm thinking back to the good old days. So
Yes, we
be
will
ready
get
for
there.
that. Yeah, it'll come. It'll come back.
Totally. Alright,
Awesome.
guys, thanks again. We'll
Yep.
be in touch.
Thank you. Everybody have a great rest of your day.